Let's get right back into our full day of education again. We'd like to welcome everybody back to the TTSAO 2023 conference. Our next speaker is all set up.
They just want to be safe. They want to be compliant. They don't want tickets. They don't want CVR points or S7S scores against them. And I get other carriers that are focused on risk and liability. It's not necessarily safety or compliance. It's what risk am I taking? Well, how liable am I? And of course, I also work with carriers that I've been referred to that are focused just now on reducing their insurance rates.
Ongoing. And if we just go to the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're working on currently. So what we have currently is, you can go to the next, monthly calibration sessions. So this is something that we've been working towards since the beginning of the pandemic. And of course, with all of the closures and the challenge of keeping up with the backlog, we didn't have as much time to spend with the calibration sessions. So we've just finalized our process. It's going through a bit of an audit review to make sure that we're ISO compliant with our process. The sessions are going to begin very shortly. We're going to begin.
While she pulls it up, I don't want to keep between lunch here. So the symposium, the National Recruiting and Retention Symposium, one of the greatest things we do is recognize the National Recruiter of the Year. Last year our event was hosted out in Truro, Nova Scotia, and over the years there's been many tremendous recruiters that work for great companies. So if you know of a great recruiter that's in your organization, the nomination is not that difficult. I encourage you to recognize your people and get behind that.
Nominated this year by North Star Trucking School, Truck Driving School out of Windsor, Ontario. The winner of the 2023 Instructor of the Year is Mike Morgan of Robinson Transport. And to accept it on his behalf, because Mike's unable to be here today, is none other than Philip Fletcher.
So I had the pleasure of stepping in to receive this award as our two compatriots from Windsor didn't challenge the weather to come up here today. I guess they felt it was a little bit too much of a risk. So they asked me if I could accept this on behalf of Michael. Gladly, a unanimous winner and fantastic representative for TTSAO instructors. This is the Instructor of the Year, Mike Morgan.
But
thank you.
Because the feedback was so amazing from kids, what we started getting from parents saying, I want to learn about this. Because as parents, the reason why most kids can't save money is because their parents can't. And so we work with the NHL alumni, the CFL, the OHL. We work with the Ontario Chiropractor Association, you name it, the RCMP, the Canadian Armed Forces. It doesn't matter what career path we take, we don't learn about money. We just don't. To become a chiropractor, $200,000 to become a chiropractor, 8 years of school, and a ton of their practices are broke. Like that's ridiculous. I was speaking to an OHL team recently, last year, and one of the guys got up, he's like, I just got signed by an NHL team, just got a $250,000 signing bonus, got my first check for $90,000. I said, congrats. I go, were you taxed on that? He's like, I don't know.
So my name is Samantha Clark. Thank you, Shelley. I am the Director of Commercial Solutions for DriveWise Knowledge Surge in Barrie. I've been in the truck training industry for about 12 years now. Love every minute of it. And I'm also Executive Director for Women's Trucking Federation of Canada and heavily involved in the No Human Trafficking Committee. Shelley asked me to get involved a couple years ago, and of course I went in and pretty passionate about what we do and spreading the word.
I'm Laura Dickinson. I am the Vice President of Safety and Compliance for North America for Day & Ross. I have been in the trucking industry and with Day & Ross for 14 years. And I co-chair the Truckers Against Trafficking Canada Council Committee with Heather. And also, as part of my daily work at Day & Ross, I am responsible for our partnership with Truckers Against Trafficking and what the work that we do to help get the message out there that human trafficking is a problem and what we can do as an industry to stop it.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilma Stewart Franklin. I am the Community Relations Director for UPS Canada, and I represent the UPS Foundation here in Canada. I've worked for UPS, first with the airline and then in operations this is my 15th year now. And part of this new role that I've taken on is about not just fostering philanthropy and volunteerism, but it's really about engagement and education. And over the last 18 months or so, I've become involved as well with Truckers Against Trafficking. It's an organization that our organization in the U.S. in particular has been has had a long-standing partnership with. And so part of the reason why I'm here and involved in this panel is because I too believe in the importance of educating and sharing awareness.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Mawhinney, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Kriska Transportation Group. As Laura mentioned, I'm part of the TAT Canada Committee. I co-chair with Laura. And I just want to thank the TTSAO and Shelley for putting this on the agenda today. As Shelley mentioned, it is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, and I know that the TTSAO has had speakers in the past from various groups and survivor speakers at your events, but it's important that we can keep this important topic on the agenda, so thank you.
And unregistered institutions and deal with public complaints regarding what's happening in the private career colleges sector, both on registered and non-registered schools. So currently there are 759 registered PCCs in Ontario. The top three are health services, truck schools, and business schools. 236 registered truck schools in Ontario, offering in Ontario, there are 6,406 registered programs.
Okay, we're done. So what I do want to say, for those of you that are still here hanging in with the weather, we do have the date booked for next year's conference, and the date is February 29th, 2024. Leap year. So we are going to take this conference to a quantum leap next year.